Hi, this is Chloe from Inner Whispers, and today I wanted to share with you the unboxing of a parcel. Here it is. It's a tarot deck that I bought through Little Red's website and it arrived very quickly, so I'm excited to see what's inside. Okay. Not doing very well on that, straight from the get-go. Here we go. So, okay, it comes as two. There's the deck, and I'm guessing this is the companion book. Let's have a little look. So, there's a little note from Beth of Little Red, which is lovely. And here is the guidebook of the Sasuraibito tarot. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that even vaguely right, but hey, Sasuraibito, that's what I'm going with. And here we have the deck itself, quite large, it's first impression, the cards. And okay, nicely packaged, it's in a firm box, a nice sort of death skull moth pattern. Front and back, and plastic. Okay, we're going to have to rip into it, and I think I might swap over to a close-up of this so that you can see all the cards properly, okay? Hi, this is Chloe from Inner Whispers, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Sasuraibito Tarot by Stasia Burrington. It comes with this little guidebook which basically gives an explanation of the meaning of Sasuraibito, which I hope I'm pronouncing right. It's a Japanese word which most closely translates to wanderer, and the rest of this little booklet is just dedicated to the cards. Interestingly, they give goddesses for quite a few of the cards and different names. And it's weird as well. I mean, like the Hierophant, we have High Priest, Pope, Shaman. But then, for example, the Wheel of Fortune and also the Hanged Man don't have anything. Which, you know, the Hanged Man, perfect for Odin. So, and the Devil also doesn't have anything. And the Tower. So that's a little bit strange. And even like the Star, it has different titles, the Astronomer, the Navigator, the Explorer, but it doesn't have as an associated deity, which, given that you've got like 3 for the High Priestess, is an interesting choice, shall we say. So yeah, and here it says, Artemis, Persephone, Isis, I know her as the witch. That's the High Priestess. So yeah, it's an interesting choice, and there's a little bit, and it's quite chatty, nice discussion of each of the cards, and there's no spreads or anything like that. So let's take a look at the cards themselves. They come in this nice box, glossy wrapping, this death skull moth image on it. Let's break open the box. Okay, as you may have noticed, the packaging is quite firm. It took me a little while to get into that. Nothing wrong with that, and it will loosen up in time. And here we have the cards. Oh, that's lovely too. Have a look. And the cards, nice gilt edges. Right from the get-go, I like the playfulness of the images. This is a great Fool, and then we have a many-armed magician. A very Athena. I can see. Athena wasn't for her though. So yeah, I can see this connection to the High Priestess and the Empress. Quite sensual. It's not exactly a manga feel. There's none of the big eyes, but I can see the sort of Japanese influence. Emperor, very distant, and the Hierophant. The Lovers, so combined you can almost not tell where one begins and the other ends. The Chariot, wow, that's a wild ride. Strength. Charming idea. I like the way that she's kind of, he, I see her as a she, but hey, that's me, is looking over her shoulder at us. So she doesn't even have to focus on the lion anymore, she's so in control. The Hermit. So the artwork is really charming. Oh, that's a little bit of a scary justice. And it's interesting because the sword looks almost a little bit like a pen nib as well, with that gap in it. I think that there are swords that do that too. Yes. Hanged Man. Interesting that it's raining in this image. And that's a beautiful, evocative death. Temperance. And the Devil. Could almost be the face of the Emperor, but now he's naked and seductive. The Tower. So it's interesting, it's almost, there's a sepia feel to some of them, which works quite nicely. This is a very fascinating and different star card, you know, I mean, dressed in an astronaut's uniform, you can't get much more protected than that, whereas I normally associate the star with openness and vulnerability, but hey, you must feel pretty vulnerable if you're floating out in space like that. The Moon. Sun. This is an interesting one, must be a very cultural emphasis, because I would never have guessed that to be Judgment. And the World inside the snake, a very different perspective. Lovely simple Ace of Cups. I just used a pinky swear picture in one of my posts, so that made me laugh. Yeah, that sense of connection, I like that. And, group hug. Oh, interesting, the braid of her hair wrapping around her. Not willing to see anything. Tied up by her own thoughts. Interesting, because often we have the sort of swords cards more as thoughts, but this kind of brings that element to the Cups card, which works for me. 5 of Cups, with a little rainbow over there, lovely. And 6 of Cups certainly has a sweet innocence to it. 7 of Cups, there are the choices. Interesting that she's holding 2 of the Cups. Are these choices she's made in the past that have or haven't worked out, or what she's choosing now? She doesn't, well, she seems to be looking up at those ones. Oh my, 8 of Cups, about to cut off all that hair. That's definitely a leaving things behind moment. I've cut my hair more than once at the end of a relationship or something like that. 9 of Cups, make a wish. And 10 of Cups. So this is nice. There's that feeling of being together with friends, of the joys of talking around the campfire, of community, without it being a strictly family card. That works for me nicely. And this is a gorgeous Page of Cups. She's holding the key to herself, so to speak. Knight of Cups. Not used to, well, I guess good book takes you somewhere emotionally. And the Queen of Cups, holding a bowl of spirit. And the King of Cups. Yes, I'm liking these so far. They're very friendly and approachable as cards go, I would say. Ace of Pentacles with lots of bees buzzing around. The 2 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. I like that there's the hands all joining in, so that gives this sort of teamwork side to it and craftsmanship. 4 of Pentacles, definitely holding on tight. 5 of Pentacles, that's a real feeling of hardship when there's just one wilted strand of wheat and everything else is desolate and barren. But there are the stars above to echo that idea of spirit. And 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. 7 of Pentacles. There's not so much a feel that I'd almost have guessed that was the Nine of Pentacles, because there's no obvious thing of stepping back, getting perspective, seeing the work that you've done, but we'll see what the Nine is like. Eight of Pentacles I like. It's a bit more studious rather than practical, but hey, it can be very practical to do study in an embodied way, shall we say. And Nine of Pentacles, that's nice too. Though there's less of the garden and more of the warrior. And Ten of Pentacles. Wow, partner yoga. Okay. Not sure what to make of that, and especially the dog on top, or is it a cat? Oh, not sure. Page of Pentacles doing origami. Cool. Knight of Pentacles sweating over working in the field. Queen of Pentacles with two bunnies cradled in her arms. I love it. And the King of Pentacles, more distant, but interesting to have the lemniscate above him, which normally is over the Magician and the Strength card. Ace of Swords. Ooh, that's dark, but the sword is cutting through it. Two of Swords, really armoured and warrior-like. Three of Swords, wow, that's fierce. Stabbed through the back, no less. Four of Swords, pleasant meditation. Five of Swords, interesting. Very different. Six of Swords, just holding your face above water, or immersing yourself to find calm. That's a very interesting card with possibilities. Seven of Swords works for the feeling of sneaking around or needing to go under the radar. Eight of Swords, yet bound and trapped. Nine of Swords, I can see the nightmares. And Ten of Swords, stabbed through. Page of Swords, she's charming, I like her a lot. And the Knight of Swords, slicing a butterfly. Not sure about that. Queen of Swords, she almost seems whimsical. And the King of Swords, so much more approachable than the King of Pentacles. A Viking warrior feel to him. Moving on to the Wands. Interesting that there's a labyrinth in that. The path that you need to take in order to bring things to fruition. And Two of Wands. So, yeah, they intertwine around one another as well. It's not a straight path. Very interesting and different. Three of Wands. You're getting a bit of structure there, a bit of a way to move forward. Initial work has been done, I can see that. It's interesting that the ones so far are all much more semi-illustrated, so no people in them. Four of Wands, delineating the structure that will come around it. Five of Wands, fiery. Six of Wands, with a little circle of rainbow around the sun, and reaching up for it, striving, or lifting a wand up. Seven of Wands, and one of the wands is an axe. That's one way to hack at things that aren't going your way, defend yourself. Eight of Wands with a bow at the bottom, so things are moving fast. Nine of Wands, interesting. It's tied a bone to the central wand to strengthen it, so that you need to... Oh, well, it's actually splinting it. I was kind of thinking that you need the bone to strengthen it, like you have to put your blood and guts in for the last little push, but it's also about creating a support for you to be able to carry on. And the Ten of Wands has, yeah, definitely the bowed back and being weighed down by things. Another delightful feisty page. And interesting, this knight has a kind of helm over him, but he's not actually using it. He's a bit more cash. And then we have a delightful Queen of Wands with her black cat, and a rather charming King of Wands. The most pleasant of them all to my eyes. Like, he seems like a nice guy kind of thing. Yeah, interesting. So, some very fun, playful cards, and lovely gilt. The back is fully reversible, and let's give it a little shuffle and see how that goes. So it shuffles just fine. Ooh, it riffles really nicely actually. Sometimes I worry about that with gilt decks. So that works very nicely. Overall, it feels good in the hand. Can't quite hold the whole pack in one, but, well, yeah, just about. And yes, it feels nice. Shuffles well. What more could you ask for? The joy of childhood and innocence. Taking time to play with the kids, perhaps. Or are you just stuck in nostalgia? For me, it's the kids, I think. Blessed be.